Hello and welcome back to another episode of Ask Harry. We're definitely going to do more of these this year compared to last year. I think we did like 2, so hopefully we can do these every few months or so. And like last time, I asked you to ask me some questions over Twitter, Facebook, the previous video on YouTube, and then YouTube, whatever it is, the community section, and Instagram. So I've compiled all of your questions and we're going to run through some of them today. First being first, Immersive Meme says, favourite door in a theme park? See, with this, I didn't know if you meant an actual door or if you meant kind of like an entranceway. If we're talking door, Jules' door at Alton Towers has a nice little knocker on it that you can actually knock, so that's a quality door. But if you're talking entrance, I feel like the UK and most of Europe doesn't really have really big and bold entrances or entrance archways. So for me, Icon is probably a really good example of a big and bold entrance archway. So I'd probably end up going with Icon. Nicholas Jensen says, what's the best airtime moment you've experienced? I find this one really quite difficult because there's different kind of quality of airtime, you know? Do you count a pop of really strong ejector as the best, or less strong but more sustained ejector, or floater airtime, because sometimes that's cool, right? So I think for me, for the first one, it would be Lost Gravity has an insane pop of ejector airtime, the strongest ejector airtime that I've ever felt. Helix at Liseberg and also Boulder at Liseberg both give awesome sustained ejector airtime. Boulder in particular, airtime machine. In terms of a ride that I would go on to get airtime, Boulder is the one for me. So fun, loads of airtime, both floater and ejector. Awesome, totally awesome. So I'd probably go with those two. My memory of Silver Star, when I wrote that a few years ago, I remember it was my first experience of sustained weightlessness, you know, sustained floater airtime. I went over the first hill and I literally died. And that's always been a very strong memory for me. So Silver Star, Helix and Boulder, and Lost Gravity is the answer. The good people at Aroma Prime, and if you don't know who Aroma Prime is, they're a company that make themed scents for attractions around the world, whether it's theme parks, museums, or stuff like that. So that's smells that you smell in the attraction to kind of enhance your experience. And they've asked, what's your favourite smell? And I'm going to say that Wicker Man smell, I think wood smoke as it's called, made by Aroma Prime, it's a fantastic smell. When you walk in to the several rooms of Wicker Man, you know, the station, the pre-show, you get this waft of, you know, burning wood, and it just kind of cements your whole experience. Now I just remember Wicker Man as this really kind of burning smell, and obviously that just adds to the overall experience. Enco asked a really good question. What's your favorite coaster track color? And I'm going to extend this to what's your favorite color scheme on a roller coaster. There's so many good ones out there, whether it's the green and green of Carnan, my favorite ride. I wouldn't say that's a very good color scheme. Or the black and black of the Smiler, also a not very good color scheme. For me, it's got to be Gold Rush at Sloughaven in the Netherlands. I absolutely love that color scheme. The red burgundy track with the kind of black supports, perfect. It is really nice to look at, and then the whole train as well. The train is amazing. I think that ride is like a pinnacle in design in terms of how to choose colours correctly and how to theme your train correctly. Brian McDonald says, are you finding it easier or more difficult to visit parks and work on the channel now that you're out of university? And then Techno Andrew has a similar question, but extending it to, do you share your enthusiasm with colleagues? So at first, I think it's both easier and more difficult to visit parks now that I'm out of university. I'm not bound to the university timetable now. So, you know, when it's exam season is like May, June, which is part of the peak theme park season. So it's good that now I can actually focus on, or not focus on, exams and actually go to parks. But then obviously work is work and I'm working 5 days a week. So I can't just mosey on down to Alton Towers and have a nice day. There's more flexibility, and obviously now I'm working, we have a car and I can do what I want, but then also, you know, I'm working longer, so I can't always do what I want. In terms of channel, it's been more difficult, definitely. You know, I tried my best at university, but I still had quite a lot of free time to do what I want, make videos, you know, hang out with my friends or whatever. But definitely, now that I'm working, I have much less time, less energy as well to make videos. So I am finding it more difficult, and something that I did want to say is the videos moving forwards are probably going to be a little less frequent. In the summer of like 2018 and kind of 2019, we were putting out a video about every week or so, or maybe even 2 a week. That isn't unlikely to happen again, only because we're actually making longer videos now. If you go back about 2 years, then the videos that we were making now compared to then are about 60% longer. So we're uploading less frequently, but you're getting much more content in terms of, you know, some of the kind of what is videos that we're producing now. They used to be 3 minutes. Now, what is big one was 12. So we really are producing more content every time instead of more individual videos. So I feel like we're not, you know, we're not doing less, we're doing more as I've gotten faster at editing, but it will just become less frequent. But yeah, definitely is harder. And then colleagues. I actually have told my colleagues about Coasterbot, and we do talk about it. You know, my colleagues often ask whether I'm going to a theme park this weekend or what, if I have any plans upcoming. So yeah, they do know about it, which is quite cool, and we do talk about it, but none of them are into theme parks themselves. You know, some of them have been to Alton Towers and Oakwood as we live in Wales, but none of them are as nerdy as me. Jojo Hendrick says, are you hitting your 200th credit in 2020? No. A good friend of mine, Screwy Loop, says, do you prefer more height and larger drops or more speed and tighter turns? I would always say speed and tighter turns. I feel like having a compact layout that you blitz through is just more chaotic, more fun, and more exciting. Large drops can be a really good part of a ride, I feel, you know, especially when you're getting whipped over at the end of the train if you're at the back of the car. But larger rides tend to be a bit more kind of more fluid, and every element is bigger and it takes longer to navigate, and therefore it's kind of less intense and less chaotic, whereas I much prefer rides that are just weaving in and out side of each other, and they're, you know, blitzing different parts of the layout. So every day of the week I would say faster speed and tighter turns. Sam Shearer asks, if you could have a successful YouTube channel about any other topic, what would you like it to be? Honestly, I think this is quite an easy one for me. I would just go with tech. You know, I'm a big fan of tech, whether it be cameras, smartphones, computers, so I'd probably have ended up making some sort of tech channel, you know, maybe a Linus Tech Tips meet MKBHD kind of thing, where it's both not just mobile phones, but also more about computers, but kind of that clean and smooth content. But yeah, I find it weird that I kind of just got into making theme park content, because who knows, maybe I could have started making phone content or computer content, and then you would have all missed out on Coasterbot. Who knows, but it is a passion of mine and it is an interest of mine, but I won't be swapping anytime soon. Alex has asked a really crucial question here. Do you pour the milk in before taking the tea bag out? I'm going to tell you exactly how I do it. And so it begins, the tea tutorial. First you need to fill your kettle up, but don't overfill it. You only fill it the amount that you need. You're saving the environment here. There's nothing to say, is there? So we're ready. Chaos just spoiled. Now we're doing it the proper way. So you need to get a tea bag. You know, chuck it in your cup, whatever. There's no milk in here. It's just a tea bag. I'm gonna pour the water in, and I'm gonna leave it to brew for a few minutes. So it's been about 2 minutes, 3 minutes, you know, that's what they say, 2 to 3 minutes. I'm going to take the tea bag out. Still no milk here, boys and girls. The milk's in the fridge, in case you wanted to know. It's here, next to the wine. And then we put some milk in. Give it a bit of a mix. And voila, you've made a cup of tea correctly. If you don't like that technique, please unsubscribe, and I'll see you next time. And there you go, that is how it's done. And finally, Panthro has the big question. Do you have any big trips or videos planned for this year? In terms of big trips, we are going on a trip to the Netherlands very soon, where we're going to hit up Toverland, Wallaby Holland and the Efteling. So lots of new credits there. Getting on another RMC. Never been to the Efteling, never been to Toverland. So it should be some really exciting times, and we'll meet up with Aaron as well, so that'll be awesome. Then Andrew is coming to the UK, and we're going to do 4 of the big UK parks with him, so that'll be an awesome trip. and we'll get to see an American's reaction to all of our UK theme parks. Then we're going to Portaventura for the first time ever, you know, get on Shambhala, Red Force, Dragon Khan, Furious Bacco. Can't wait to experience all of that and finally get on another B&M Hyper. Zoe hasn't been on a B&M Hyper, so I'm excited to see her reaction to that. I'm sure it's going to be... Oh. But yeah, I've heard a bit of mixed things about Portaventura, so I'm hoping that across the few days that we are there, that we'll get kind of a good day and that it doesn't all just completely suck. But still very excited. And finally, we will be visiting Phantasialand, hopefully after Fly has opened to the public, so that we get to experience the world's first flying launch coaster, double launch coaster I should add, which will be really exciting. So lots of awesome stuff planned. I'm sure that we'll be visiting, you know, more of the UK parks in between all of that as well. Getting to Paultons Park in May as well for the first time. Hope to hit up Oakwood again at some point. So there's quite a lot of plans on the agenda already, and that's all kind of before summer and during summer, so who knows what's going to happen after. We want to make some big videos moving forwards. Got lots of ideas in my head. There's going to be a very, very big one out soon, very soon, which is taking a lot of my time right now, but there's a lot to look forward to. We'll see the return of Manufacturers Explained this year, hopefully for several different manufacturers, and then, as I said, there's more exciting content in between all of that. So I've got lots of ideas, I just need to implement them, get them done, and we'll see how you all think about it. But that's it from another episode of Ask Harry. Again, if you want to ask questions for the next episode, leave them in the comments below. And if you follow us on social media, you know, Twitter @CoasterBot, Instagram @CoasterBot, Facebook CoasterBot, we'll be asking for questions closer to the time. You know, leave a comment here or wait until that happens. Anyway, thank you for watching, and we'll see you all next time.